Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Going On Daily Live. My name is Becky here with Mr. Chuck Allen. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are having a wonderful start to your day. If you're not, you're about to, so get ready.
You are about to because Chuck and Becky are back with Summer Destinations Week. This is fun.
It is indeed. And I will say one thing really quickly. I tried to go live on my Facebook page, and for some reason, it won't let me go live with the live stream. So I'll have to go back and change the publicity to public after this show today.
Weird.
So
Well,
sorry to everybody that wanted to watch live on my Facebook, but Facebook's kind of messing you up.
Then people may as well go to our Going On Daily Morning Show Facebook page because we are live there, apparently.
True
So
that.
over there and watch it. I just want to give a quick shout out to WDJY in Atlanta. They have us on every Wednesday, 9 to 10 p.m., Thursday and Friday, and Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. So we are very excited to be live there. Now, we are also about to go live in Fairfax, Virginia / Washington, D.C. area via television. Not even just sound. We are here in the pictures, Chuck. So this is very exciting.
Indeed, it is. I have to say one thing. WDJY 99.1 FM in Atlanta. I caught the show live this past week, and I must say, whoever that duo was, they were amazing. 9 o'clock on Wednesday, and it was on TuneIn. It was very easy to find. So I encourage everybody to tune in.
So download the TuneIn app. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I did. And I just typed in WDJY, and there she was. Straight talk.
I got to say something. I love Atlanta. I've been a few times now. Never disappoints.
Atlanta's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that I definitely agree with you on that. The highway system's not awesome there if you're driving a big truck, but I don't really figure that you probably have ever driven a big truck through Atlanta and probably don't plan on it. So therefore, it's pretty awesome. You're right.
I mean, if I'm going to get a rental car, it's probably going to be something fuel efficient. You know, I'm on vacation after all. I need to save some money. So probably won't be driving a big truck anytime soon in Atlanta, but I love it when I go there. You know what? It's the South, and I'm going to say Texas included, not that I've ever been, but the food in the South is so freaking good.
Yeah.
Hugo says Atlanta is where the players play. Correct.
Indeed,
if Ludacris and Jermaine Dupri have taught us anything, that's what's up. So yes, anyways, shout out to WDJY in Atlanta. Also want to give a shout out to Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives Institute for sponsoring us. You can see above our head here, we've got a little banner for them, and you'll see a little bit of a commercial for them somewhere during the show. So it is Summer Destinations Week, and you're talking about the worst summer destination.
Well, of course I am, Becky, because you know how I am. I'm the eternal optimist that always likes to find the bad. For some reason, I'm drawn to the negativity because I know everybody else on our show is going to have a great destination that they remember from childhood or something that they look forward to every year, but not me.
Not you.
I'm going the other direction with this one, okay? And this is a summer destination that was so bad that it only happened one time to me in my entire life.
Oh, no.
And it caused a ton of dissension amongst my entire family. So,
great.
Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about my worst summer destination ever.
Yeah.
Now, a few weeks ago, I did mention that my favorite was Boy Scout camp, where we actually tricked a kid into eating nature's berries, if you will, off the ground.
No,
but that was a different story for a different day. So, the worst summer destination ever. When I was a kid, we would always have like a special trip that we would do every summer. My mom would take us to like baseball stadiums around the country, or we would go to visit relatives. One time we went to Disney World, you know, all kinds of cool stuff. But I remember very vividly, Becky, I think I was about between the ages of 10 and 12. I don't know the exact time frame because I've tried to block this out, but one year we had to go to a different place. And this was a very unfamiliar place to me as a young man, and I wasn't sure what to expect. So imagine my surprise when my mom comes out one day and says, "Hey, we're going on a trip to visit my cousin."
Okay.
My mom's cousin, okay? Not my cousin, my mom's cousin. And I don't know how that makes relations to me. I don't know what my mom's cousin is like, just my mom's
Third
cousin.
cousin or something. Yeah, I don't know how that all works.
So, I wasn't too excited about it because I'm
No, definitely.
cool going on. I probably had something way more fun to deal with, but there was never really a question as to whether or not you wanted to go. It was like, we're going to visit my cousin.
Mhm.
So we packed up into the family van and we drove to, I don't even know where it was, to be quite honest. It was pretty ghetto though. And we go to my mom's cousin's house, and my mom's cousin has a son, which I guess is like my second or third cousin. Or
Mhm.
I don't know how these family trees work, but this dude is like not really related to me, but like sort of kind of is, right? So by default, we're supposed to be best friends, right? That's how that works. You're just expected to, get along and be friends. Well, one thing about me, Becky, if I don't like somebody, I have a pretty hard time pretending that I'm
I've
their
noticed.
friend. So
I've
my
noticed.
cousin, second cousin, third cousin, whatever his name was, I'm not even going to say it. Um, but I didn't really care for him that much.
Mhm.
And it wasn't really his fault because he was actually probably pretty cool. But the entire scene was what really soured me on the whole thing. And let me kind of set the scene for you, if you will.
Okay.
Um, I'm sure you probably know somebody at this point where you're like, you go and you just kind of know that you don't really want to go in there because you just know that it's going to be overpowering in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. My grandmother's was like mothballs and stuff like that.
Oh,
And you never wanted to go to her house because you'd smell like mothballs for like a
no, of
month.
course.
But I'm going to a completely new venue here. I don't have any understanding about what we're seeing or doing. And the first thing that happens when the door opens is my entire summer gets ruined. And basically, it was a amazingly horrific odor that was like a
No.
combination of like poor hygiene, just overall filth, animals. I think
Overall.
there was probably some stuff that didn't quite hit the urine, the cat box or
Stop.
whatever.
No.
Whole deal going on, right? Now, mind you, Becky, we're staying here for a week. 12-year-old
What?
Chuckster, though, has no part of that. And this is maybe the worst thing that's ever, maybe now that I feel, after the fact, but I started causing camping outside was definitely
Yeah.
one of my options here. And it was like far outside. So I
Can you tell
immediately
us the
started
state?
do what?
Can you tell us the state you were in?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, so you didn't go far
Ohio.
for this vacation.
Not
They
far
call it a
enough.
vacation, but actually you were just
Yeah, it
sticking
wasn't a
around town.
vacation at all. It was more like a sentence.
Punishment. Ooh, you were a
Yes.
bad boy and your mom was getting you back.
Well,
Okay,
I
I
don't
get
even think my mom really thought that
it.
way,
No,
but after
she
the
wouldn't
fact, she
be.
understood how I felt. So
Yeah,
we had to do this, and we go there, and I'm instantly just nope, not having it.
yeah.
Even as a 12-year-old, I was quite convincing that it ain't working for me. So I can start being like really rude and like obnoxious, and that's exactly what I decided to do. And basically, I went on a hunger strike. And I told them I refused to eat because it smelled so bad and I couldn't eat and it was
Oh,
disgusting,
no.
which in fact made my mom's cousin or second cousin, whatever, incredibly upset, believe it or
Mhm.
not, which I do apologize for that part. I was overreacting maybe just a tiny bit, although not really. So as you continue to go forward, we had to basically go in and apologize for my horrible commentary. You can see that I learned a lot from it because here we are like 30 some years later and I'm still talking crap. But we have to apologize and I have to be friends with the cousin, right? And I don't like the cousin at all. He's not cool. And I feel like they did clean it. That's the
Wrong.
problem.
Agreed.
I
Clean your
feel
home,
like that
especially a
was the
cabin guest.
clean version of the house, which made it even
Ooh,
worse. So
that
I'm
was
I'm
them
still
trying.
like being my normal disgusting self. And for like 2 days, I refused to eat.
Yeah.
And I like went on a freaking hunger strike, Becky. And I was kind of mean to the cousin because I didn't really know him. And honestly, I thought he had a bunch of stuff that, would be cool for me. So we rummaged through his belongings and I actually ended up getting a whole bunch of like WWF wrestling
Yeah,
characters from him, which was
amazing.
cool because he wanted to be my friend. He wanted to be my cousin.
Aw.
And rather than being a nice person that I've evolved into now, I was definitely in it for myself. So I took the toys and basically then just that was the end of it. That was the last time I saw this cousin ever. So, but what happened was after 3 days, I just didn't get any better. And we had to cut the vacation short. My mom was
Mhm.
pissed. The cousin, she didn't like me either because obviously I had some housekeeping concerns. And at the end of the day, my full week of purgatory, it only ended up being 3 days because we had to leave out of shame and embarrassment. Those were the
No,
words from my own mother.
no.
And you know what? You're welcome because it got us out of there. And I think that deep down inside, my mom didn't really want to be there either. And I think she felt the same way, but it just looked bad if it was her kid, and unfortunately, I don't care about that. So I think I did her a favor. I know I did myself a favor. And to be quite honest, I've never seen nor heard of that third cousin or the cousin's aunt, whatever. I've never heard of them ever again. I have no
No way.
idea if they're here on this earth or they're gone. Am I
Ron,
glitching?
I don't think Chuck is glitching. I think
Okay,
it might be
yeah,
Ron.
I'm feeling
I
like
think we
I'm
are
pretty
good
good
here
over
on
here.
this end. Ron said earlier, Becky's doing some max headroom stuff. I don't know. In the beginning, sometimes there's a little bit of an internet issue, but we're good now.
I
Everyone's
think it's
clear.
buffered to the point of being good. I do notice over here on the Instagram version that I'm like covered up by whatever that small western town is. But that's what was going on. So, worst vacation destination of all time. It was not Hawaii. It wasn't Disney World by any stretch. It wasn't even Marineland, Becky. This was like way worse than anything ever. And it literally ultimately caused such dissension because of me being rude and obnoxious
Yeah.
that I don't think my mom and her cousin ever spoke again. So,
You know what, though? Here's the thing. Your mom needed to have done her due diligence. If you're going to go take your kid to go stay at one of your family members' house, you need to know them. You need to know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, granted, you do think out of common courtesy that someone is going to clean up their house in an appropriate way.
I guess appropriate is all based on your
Yeah, that's relative,
perspective,
right?
you know?
Subjective. I've been to some houses, like I did makeup for years and years. I would go to brides' houses or different photo shoots or whatever. And I remember I went, the hairdresser wanted to host. And then so the client was coming there and I walked in and it was like the stinkiest, crunchiest, most disgusting
Oh,
house.
crunchiest. That is a
Crunchy.
very good
Crunchy.
way to describe. Yeah, crunchy was going on in that carpet at that house too. And I'll
Ugh.
never forget it was like I think it was like beige at one point, but it was like dark greenish looking with some
Yeah,
black on it.
right.
And it was matted down in areas in an unnatural looking way. So
Yeah, that's gross.
yeah,
Well,
who
I don't
knows
know.
whatever happened. I do know that one of my mom's other cousins' house got condemned later on. So
It might be just the
there's something
genetic
weird going on with that side
in
of the
that
family.
family.
Those cousins were like,
Eternal stains, Hugo says. Yes,
that was it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Gross. Well,
Some
sounds
things
like
are
a
just,
terrible summer vacation.
that
Thanks,
was.
mom. Thanks, mom, for that. You know, your
There's
mom
only
your
one
mom
way
knew
to
she
go
messed
from here.
she knew she messed up. All of your summer vacations were probably awesome from that point forth because she didn't.
No, but that one was particularly bad.
All
So
over the bed.
it was cool though. We tried, and our show can only go up from here. I always like to start with the absolute worst
The absolute
so that
worst.
everything else is just like so much brighter and
That's right.
happier.
Yeah,
So
no, definitely my stories about the mystery in San Antonio will really brighten your day. Before we do that, why don't we hear a word from our new sponsors?
our sponsors.
Watch us live at YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch at Rhode Island Broadcasting, X and Twitter at Broadcasting RI, Facebook at Going On Daily Morning Show. Listen to us on all of our audio platforms such as Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music at RI Broadcasting. You can also follow us on all of our socials at MeWe, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Gab, Parler, and Space Hey at RI Broadcasting, and Reddit at RI-Broadcasting. And support the show on Rhode-IslandBroadcasting.net. We thank you for listening, following, and watching.
My bad.
Yes.
Not our sponsors. That's our social media promo. That was on me. My bad, everybody. I apologize there. But now you get to know where to follow us on all of our socials. We are live almost every day. We've also got the Hall of Fame going on here this month. We are talking 70s sitcoms, Sanford and Son, Good Times, The Jeffersons, Different Strokes. What's happening? I didn't ever understand why different was just apostrophe and not just spelled different. Does anyone know?
They were just trying to be different.
Different Strokes. I've never seen it, so I actually have no idea. To be honest, I've never seen any of these. I just know who the Jeffersons are because I've seen All in the Family. I used to have Deja Vu, the channel. Great channel. It has all kinds of stuff on there. But it's great. I Dream of Jeannie and all that. So good. But anyways, you can scan the QR code. You can find the Hall of Fame and you can vote for your favorite. I'm thinking that Jeffersons is taking this one.
No, it's definitely going to be Sanford and Son, I believe.
Good
this
time.
is a surprise. It's because I haven't voted yet, but it's going to be Sanford and Son. And I will say this. I was going to send you a video of Sanford and Son the other day because I just happened to scroll across one. And I think that if you watch this like 6-minute video of Sanford and Son, you would be completely sold. And that would be like, that's the one. Out of this group, Sanford and Son has to be the one. And it was hilarious because it was Fred Sanford and they had a bunch of stolen copper in their truck and the police showed up. And the white cop was giving him like all these like, white guy words. And then he'd have to look over to his other buddy and that buddy be like, the white boys are stealing all the copper, Fred. And he'd like understand it. So he had to get translations.
And I can imagine because these are 70s sitcoms that they're probably like not super culturally appropriate for today.
No, that definitely would not fly in today's environment for sure. But hilarious it was in 1978.
Oh, I can imagine. Okay, well, like I said, I've got to watch about 96 different shows that we've had here on the Hall of Fames. One day I will get around to it. One day.
Possibly.
We're
just going to continue to add like 5 new ones every month. So the longer we procrastinate, the worse it's going to get for us.
The problem with TV shows is that I am going to have to watch them in their entirety. I can't just watch like an episode and know which one I like. So movies is probably a better choice for me. Anyway, so we've got a pretty cool story today. It's, I was actually going to send this to you. And then I was like, no, we're going to save this for the show. This is a San Antonio mystery, and maybe you've heard it. So let me set the stage. Ooh, pretend that's like spooky music. This is the mystery of Julie Mott. She is a woman who vanished after she died. Now imagine losing a loved one. It's tough, right? You're grieving. It's awful. But you have the funeral to have some closure, and then you can start to, I don't want to say put it behind you, but start to move on with your life, right? Now imagine that after attending their funeral, once you say your final goodbyes, discovering that their body is gone.
Oh.
That's exactly what happened to Julie Mott. She was just a 25-year-old woman from San Antonio. Is that music? Do you hear that? Is that music in the background? Is that mysterious music? What is that?
I do hear music, but it's not coming from me.
Is it from Ron?
It's mystery music. I love it.
Ooh, it goes with this. With the spooky story. So this poor girl died at 25 years old. She had battled cystic fibrosis for most of her life, which is a disease that affects your lungs and ultimately your organs. So unfortunately, she didn't live long in her life, and that's heartbreaking. Her parents probably knew it was coming, but that doesn't make her passing.
Yeah, it still sucks.
Easier,
still sucks.
So in August 2015, complications from cystic fibrosis claimed her life. Now, her family had arranged a memorial service at a funeral home in San Antonio. Hundreds of people attended, as they do when a young person passes away. Right. Friends and family gathered to celebrate her life and to say goodbye to her. Nothing seemed unusual. But after the service ended, something happened that remains unexplained to this day, 11 years later. Sometime between the end of the funeral and the funeral home's closing time, Julie's body disappeared. Now, I would imagine that they had a viewing, so they knew she was there. She died of cystic fibrosis, so she probably still looked pretty similar.
Pretty much the same.
Viewing. So her jewelry was gone as well, obviously, but like they didn't leave any trace of her whatsoever. Her entire body was gone. Now you think like maybe there was a thief and he could steal her jewelry or her clothes or personal items or whatever. No, entire body was gone. The next morning, the funeral home staff discovered that her remains were gone, and police were called immediately, as they should be. That'd be a weird phone call. Hey, like we lost body.
Yeah, y'all seen a dead body? Can you tell us where it's at?
Exactly.
Ugh.
Investigators quickly learned that there were no signs of forced entry, no broken doors, no smashed windows, no obvious evidence showing that someone could have even entered the building, let alone locating the body, removing it, and leaving without being noticed. This makes me think it's an inside job, maybe. Even more bizarre, there were reportedly no surveillance cameras covering the critical areas where the theft would have occurred. That sounds more like an inside job to me. The case instantly became national news. Did you live there then in San Antonio?
No. That was when I lived in College Station, Texas, where other weird things happened, but nothing quite like that.
That's fair. Yes, Lilac disappeared. Now, it became national news because, like, realistically, who steals a body, Chuck? Who steals a dead body, and why? What do you do?
I think why is the better question. I mean, I'll say this: one time on my podcast, I had a mortician on, and I did ask a very poignant question because he was also a professional wrestler, and my question was, do you ever practice wrestling moves on dead bodies? To which this guy was very adamant. No, he does not. And he also said that it is illegal to do anything, which is very good. I mean, I don't even think that should have to be a law, but whoever stole the dead body is definitely in violation of the funeral home policy and rules. And Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer was awesome back in the day.
I told you my husband wants me to go as that for Halloween.
That's terrific.
That's the most insulting thing I've ever heard. Ron says a necromancer, but I don't think that's I think that's like a nerdy Stranger Things sort of thing. I think the word you're looking for is I don't remember, but it's someone who does yucky stuff to dead bodies.
Weirdo. We're gonna go with weirdo.
Weirdo. Yeah, this is a PG show. We're not
Universal.
talking about
Yes.
So the first theory that came up about where this lady went was her ex-boyfriend. So it turned to a guy named Bill Wilburn. Bill Wilburn sounds like he's about 74 and not around the 25.
I know a dude named Bill Wilburn, so...
Stop it. You don't.
It's not this guy, but I do know one.
I would hope. According to the police reports and court records, Wilburn had been intensely attached to Julie. Friends and family actually described him as obsessed with her, particularly after their relationship had ended. Reports indicated that he had sent numerous calls and messages to Julie before her death. Now, investigators learned that Wilburn was among the last people at the funeral home after the memorial service ended. Witnesses said that he lingered after most guests had left.
Really?
So
just hanging out, no big deal.
Right. Yeah, necrophilia. That's the word, Lilac, not necromancer. The fact alone made him a person of interest. Yeah, the fact that he was just obsessed with her alone, maybe...
That's usually a pretty good first starting point.
Yeah. And then the fact that he was like hanging out after, I mean, the place is closed. You're still there. Get out, buddy. So police never found any evidence actually linking him directly to the disappearance. Now, years later, Bill Wilburn was arrested, not for stealing Julie's body, but for repeatedly trespassing at the funeral home after being banned from the property. Ew. He eventually pleaded guilty to those trespassing charges and received just a very short jail sentence. However, he was never charged with stealing Julie's remains. He's a suspect. Where is the one you know?
The one I know is in North Carolina, thankfully.
Listen, I've never seen this Bill Wilburn and this Bill Wilburn in the same room, so I'm just putting that out.
Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know. I'm gonna look up Bill Wilburn here, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Well, this
next
guy,
Monday, folks, I will have met and interviewed this guy, and you'll know. I'll know exactly what happened.
Well, this Bill Wilburn to this day denies any involvement.
Well, sure. Why wouldn't
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Right. One of the biggest mysteries is the logistics, though. Like, think about this, Chuck. An adult body is not easy to move. Dead weight is not easy to move. Even if she was a tiny girl, that's still like 100 pounds of dead weight that you're having to, fling over your shoulders and get out there without any signs, without any indication that someone had even been there. Whoever took Julie's body would have needed time, privacy, transportation, and a plan. That's why it makes me think it's an inside job. Nobody reported seeing anything suspicious whatsoever. No witnesses saw someone carrying a body. No vehicle was ever identified. No trace of Julie was ever found. Not a single confirmed piece of evidence has surfaced in more than a decade, 11 years again, to be exact. This has led to endless theories. This music is so weird in the background.
It's actually cool, but it's got me kind of messed up because in my head, I'm like, I'm
Like,
making sure it's not playing
Yeah.
like on my thing over
Yeah,
here or my
exactly.
speaker. And like, no, it's not me.
Right.
It's kind of cool, but it is a
It is kinda
little,
cool.
it's a little
Yeah.
offsetting. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hugo says he used a lot of pulleys. Do you think that's just like, it's like a Mission
or
Impossible
I've been a
episode?
roofer. I mean, 100 pounds is not that much for a roofer.
Well, I
Not gonna
guess.
lie, I warm up with that.
Okay.
You know,
So
you know,
some
I'm not, I was not here.
No,
In
yeah,
front of
you're
you.
really
I
incriminating
reiterate.
yourself here, Chuck.
Yeah, I was not
So
here.
some believe a grieving admirer or an obsessed former partner took the body, right? That's the obvious
That's what I would
thought
go
for
with.
the
If I
theory.
was betting, I'd
It
go
wasn't
with
betting that.
Bill.
Yeah. The fact that he was arrested for trespassing at the funeral home after this fact. Why were you there,
Oh
Bill?
no, why are you back, bro?
Right. Why are you back? If she's in the ground or she's missing or whatever, why are you there? You just like dead bodies in general?
Maybe
Bill?
that's his thing.
Yeah, trying to make a bride of Frankenstein. Yuck. So others think that someone opposed to the family's plan to cremate Julie wanted to prevent it. That seems fairly extreme. Someone just buried it somewhere,
Yeah, it's a
maybe.
little sketchy. I don't know.
But still, others wondered whether or not there was some type of funeral home mistake or cover up that was never fully revealed. That definitely might be. Police and the funeral home have consistently maintained that Julie's body was stolen. So, for Julie's parents, of course, this tragedy didn't end with her death. They never got to have
That's just the
closure.
beginning. Yeah, like that's the worst part. Your kid dies, and like that's
Yeah.
not the worst part.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, Hugo, he liked the smell of embalming gel. Ugh. That's like Chuck's grandma's mothball house. Yucky.
Pretty much. That's exactly what my grandma smells like. Embalming fluid.
Gosh. You're right,
Ugh.
Lila. He had no reason to be there ever. No one ever checks dead bodies. Ugh. That's such a weird job. I mean, I'm
It
happy
is
we
a
have
weird
somebody
job, but
to
I
do
will
it.
say this, and I don't want to go too far off topic here, but one time I was in a different part of Texas and I was looking at a funeral home roof.
Mhm.
And I went inside there to look at the ceiling to see if there was any stains and stuff from leaks.
Yeah.
There was a room that there were 3 dead bodies in.
Oh.
And I just walked right in and was like, there's 3 dead bodies laying there. So,
Don't
I mean,
mind me.
that seemed kind of weird to me that there were that many.
I don't like that.
But that was in Amarillo, Texas.
I don't like that. Hide that. It's like your aunt's house. Hide it before people come over. Okay. Put away
don't
your
have the roofer go into that little room back there, you know. And I felt like they knew and they were just trying to mess with me, but
trying to mess with you.
I
don't
didn't
like
even
that.
flinch. I ain't
Yeah,
scared of
no.
dead people.
Okay, well, that's good because I am. So anyways, Julie's family never got to have closure, right? They never got to mourn her or bury her. So years just passed without any answers. The family actually filed a civil lawsuit against the funeral home, arguing that it failed to properly protect Julie's remains, and rightfully so, I think. In 2018, so 3 years later, a jury awarded the family $8 million, finding the funeral home negligent. But even that victory brings little comfort, right? Money couldn't tell them where their
It
daughter
brings some
was
comfort.
or bring her home or what somebody's doing with the body. That's what
But now that I know that there's an $8 million settlement, I've got a whole new offshoot of questions. And, I don't want to get too deep into it, but
like Andrew, if you're listening, just
8
have somebody
million.
hide me from the funeral home. If I ever go, sue them and then take care of my children. That's just what I'm saying. All right. So questions that still remain more than 10, now 11 years later, the central questions remain unanswered. Who took her? Of course. How did they remove it without being seen? Where were they taken, like her remains? Was somebody acting alone? You would think that you might need two people to pull off a heist like this, at least. Why has not a single piece of evidence ever surfaced? And what makes this case so haunting is that it isn't even a murder mystery. She had already died. The mystery begins after death. The victim disappeared after her funeral. So, anyways, this is just a weird San Antonio mystery. I figured you'd appreciate this. If anyone knows anything, I mean, maybe we're Crime Stoppers now on Going on Daily.
Yeah, I'm gonna find this guy Bill. Like I said, next Monday, tune in. I'll have the answers now that I know.
Yeah, now that you know. She could be roaming the streets. I think it's pretty confirmed.
Not here in San Antonio.
She passed. I mean, Texas is a big place. Maybe she's somewhere else. But yeah, I think it was pretty confirmed that she was dead. And yeah, she's gone now. So anyways, if anybody knows anything, I guess reach out to Going on Daily and we will get you in touch with the police, or maybe just reach out to the police. I don't know. Cry all the way to the bank. Yeah, no kidding, Lilac. Anyways, before we get on to your next topic here, let's hear from Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives Institute.
Looking for a fitness app that actually fits in your life, not the other way around? The Mace Fitness app is your personal fitness coach in your pocket. That's M-A-S-E. Mace Fitness app makes fitness simple and affordable. The build your own workout option allows you to choose the exercises, the focus area, and the pace that works best for you. This app feature is only $9 a month. You'll get over 630 guided exercise videos, build your own workout tools, strength, mobility, balance, and flexibility training, easy to follow instructions, fitness anytime, anywhere. Mace Fitness, just $9 a month.
Sometimes you can feel lost in the forest of your mind, caught up in mistakes you can't change, looking ahead, uncertain what comes next, questioning if things will ever get easier, and if you've missed your chance. But the fact is that every moment is a new chance to change and choose a new direction. The fastest way to stop the pain and gain the new insight needed is through guidance from someone who has walked the path before you that can teach you to find your own answers from within. If any of this sounds familiar and you're looking for a way through from where you are to where you long to be, then let's connect. Check out soulspectivesinstitute.com today and book your discovery call, and we can see where we can go from there.
I love that. Not only can you work out your body, you can work out your mind with our sponsors, Mace Fitness and Soul Spectives.
Easy for you to say. Say that 15 times fast, I promise.
I don't like alliteration, okay, Chuck?
Right? Yeah, that's not my thing. I love it, though. Thank you to the sponsors. We love you guys, and we appreciate it very sincerely.
We do. Okay, topic 3. Whatever happened to...
Well, now, Becky, you just had a San Antonio mystery, and we didn't quite uncover the mystery.
No, we didn't.
But...
who done it?
I've decided to go for a double here, and we've got another San Antonio mystery that I actually do have the answer to. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here.
Okay. Love it.
I drive around town quite a bit, as you're aware. I own a local home services business, so I get to see a lot of people. I get to go into a lot of different areas of this beautiful town. And one thing I noticed about maybe like 6 months ago, in the mornings, there were these cars that were driving around that were like they were like white hatchbacks, and they had like all kinds of like weird little spinner things on them and like cameras and stuff. And I was very intrigued because I noticed one morning sitting at a traffic light, there's nobody driving this. So I'm like, you know, what's going on here? Why do we have non-driver cars in San Antonio? So I did a little bit of research, and I found out this is a common thing, and it's a company called Waymo. And I guess Waymo unveiled like the driverless Ubers earlier this year. And San Antonio is a test market for Waymo. So I seeing them all over the place, right? And then abruptly, about maybe 2 months ago, I noticed that I stopped seeing them so frequently. And then I recognized I don't see them at all. And this kind of made me wonder what happened. So I'm like, let's figure out what's going on with the Waymos, because it seems like a good idea. I'm on board with it. I think if we could have a machine that could drive in place of people, we'd get rid of traffic jams and accidents and frustration and road rage and all kinds of stuff.
If you can trust it.
Well, now here comes that aspect of the Waymo, my friend. I come to find out that what happened to the Waymo was, in spite of all the hard work and actually putting this out to the public as a service that people could like actually use and
Yeah.
pay for with their good money.
Good one.
Apparently there were a few things that they didn't take into account before they decided to put human lives in jeopardy.
Okay.
And one of the things I remember reading about how they were going the wrong way down a one-way street. And I was
No.
like, yeah,
Right.
well, that's forgivable. Like people do that all the time, you know, come on, whatever. Sometimes it just happens. That's acceptable. I forgive that. But Waymo's got taken completely off the streets because something really bad happened. And basically, it was kind of cool that nobody was actually in the Waymo when this happened because it'd probably be dead. So we get these torrential rains here in San Antonio frequently. Like it won't rain for like 2 months, and then we'll get like 10 feet of rain in like 2 days. It's raining right now, and it's been raining like crazy. So here in Texas, we have this thing called hill country, which is, you know, our climate is kind of it's hilly. And the unfortunate situation is at the bottom of every hill, there's a huge opportunity for water to gather, and it can become quite treacherous if you're driving. And I don't think that they really took this into account when they were building the roads here in San Antonio, because this is the worst I've ever seen it.
Right.
So I come to find out that a couple weeks back, the Waymos are out and about, riding around town, just chilling, picking people up, taking them to their destinations, and a massive torrential downpour hits. Someone forgot to put a torrential downpour camera on the Waymo, Becky. Guess what happened?
No.
The Waymo drove into the giant body of water directly into it, and it got swept away down the creek. And it was laying in the middle of the creek upside down, like way far down the road. And they basically come to find out, whoops, we forgot that this could be a thing. Much like where it says the power goes out and the street signals don't turn on. I think that they understand at that point to become a four-way stop, like they're fairly advanced, but nobody told the Waymo not to drive directly into standing water, which is like one of the number one safety rules that they teach us when we're getting our driver's license.
When you're driving,
could drown, you could go away. And people have died here in San Antonio a bunch of times from that in the last year, just getting stuck in it and just getting swept away.
Oh,
Waymo, I can only imagine how bad
boating service. Good one, Hugo.
Exactly. That's what's going to end up having to be. But how bad would it suck if you were in the Waymo, you paid for it, you're on your way to the house, and all of a sudden you're swept up in a freaking river, basically, and you can't even do anything. You can't scream because nobody's listening. There's someone at a call center probably watching your reaction on a closed circuit TV or something and probably laughing at you. But I think that's terrible. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened to Waymo here in San Antonio.
Jeez.
I don't know what their fate was in any other major cities here in America, but it rains here and they need to maybe adjust it just a little bit to take that into account. And then I'll be the first one to jump right back in the Waymo and risk my life for a ride to the airport. So
I wonder if it wasn't designed in maybe a drier climate, perhaps.
I would have to assume. Oh, the Waymos all went into a safety mode and they all just stayed in place. So I don't see them sitting around in San Antonio randomly in the middle of the street or anything. So like someone figured it out. But I did see it driving around. This was funny. When I knew these things were screwed up, Becky, I saw it at the gas station and it was driving around the gas pumps like in a counterclockwise position. Instead of going the correct way, it was going the wrong way. And it just kept doing it. And it was like stopping and then like backing up and going and stopping. And it was at that moment that I realized it needs a little bit more refinement before
Do they need gas though? They're not electric vehicles?
I have no idea. How could they get gas? There's nobody in it.
This is confusing. I don't get it. I've never seen this sort of self-driving vehicle in Canada. It's not to say that they're not in some of the bigger cities like Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal. I've never seen them. In Vegas, we did see Zoox or something like that. Z-O-O-X. Zoox. We couldn't get in when you had to download the app, but because we were Canadian I don't know, Canadian IP address, blah, blah. We couldn't even download the app.
It wouldn't
We
even
tried
let you
so
get a
hard.
ride.
No,
That's pretty bad right there.
I know. Yeah,
But hey, maybe it saved you. Maybe that thing runs into a mud puddle.
maybe.
You end up upside down, drowning. You can't get out because it's locked. Maybe it was for the best that you couldn't get the app, Becky.
Strange.
You might
Well,
not be here right now.
maybe not. I did want to just, take it. I mean, the thing about going anywhere in Vegas is that you're not going anywhere fast. Traffic is pretty slow going. So it's not like you become Julie. Wow.
Oh,
Sorry, I should catch myself after that. Gross, Hugo. You're not going anywhere fast. You're not really going on highways unless maybe you're heading over to like Fremont Street or something. But if you're just staying on the strip, it kind of makes sense to go in like a little automated vehicle. But yeah, we couldn't even download the app. So Canadians are not allowed access to self-driving vehicles, I guess.
one more injustice in this world that we can add to the list.
Yeah, that's right. Add it up there
Terrible.
with some of the horrible things going on in the world. That's up there.
Well, there you go, folks. Just
Love
in
it.
case you were wondering, in San
Just in
Antonio,
case you
we've
were
got
wondering.
all
Yeah.
kinds of craziness going on here. So
Totally.
I love it.
Love it. Okay, why don't we check out, if you want to invest your money in something, don't invest it in stocks of,
No.
self-driving vehicles. Why don't you invest it in people who could actually use it? Like maybe the people of Uganda. Watch this short video.
That's a good one.
It is. Here at Rhode Island Broadcasting and Going On Daily, we're proud to announce that we are collecting donations for our Uganda Fund. My name is Becky, and I've been one of the hosts here at Going On Daily since day one. And earlier this year, I was blessed with the opportunity to travel to Uganda, and it was honestly one of the most life-changing experiences. I met people who completely changed the way I see the world. I met families who had endured unimaginable tragedies, including these two families who lost young children to a witch doctor. I met children who hadn't eaten in days. We even saw 11 children share a single apple because it's all we had left to give them. I met children who fled war in neighboring countries only to find themselves homeless and living on the streets. I saw heartbreak, poverty, and desperation. But what I also saw was joy, the happiness that a single piece of candy, a bracelet, or a small act of kindness could bring was enough to bring tears to my eyes. These are people who have so little, and yet they have more gratitude and joy than many of us could even imagine. We know that there are people who need help in our own communities, and we continue to support local initiatives whenever we can. But this year, our hearts are with Uganda. In partnership with Love Made a Way, 100% of every donation will go directly to initiatives in Uganda. No hidden fees, no deductions. Every dollar goes to help providing food, clean water, education, medical care, safe buildings, sanitation improvements, schools, vocational training, and hope. $1 is worth roughly 3,700 Ugandan shillings, so even a small donation can make a meaningful impact. Maybe it's giving up your Starbucks or your Timmy's today. Whatever you feel led to give, please know that it will help change lives. Thank you for your support, your generosity, and for helping us bring hope to the people of Uganda. Visit www.rhodeislandbroadcasting.net/Uganda-donations to help out. I made that video with pictures I took, but every time I see it, I'm like, oh.
That was a pretty powerful video right there. I'm not going to lie. This episode, we've had some pretty good outside sources. We've got some good videos here. That's awesome. We do,
for sure. Welcome, Danny. Danny is here. So let's talk here about something Canadian as well. We are talking summer destinations. And as you probably maybe remember, maybe you don't, I talk about Banff a lot on the show.
I have heard of Banff,
talk about it a lot.
But I thought it was actually spelled BAMFF.
Banff.
This whole time I was like Banff.
Banff. It's kind of a weird word anyway, Banff. But yes,
it is. But hey, who am I to judge?
Yes. I've been there multiple times in my life, including multiple times when, we've had shows. I did my walk around show the one time when I saw deer and whatever. I was hoping to see a bear, didn't. It's a very cool place. It's about 4.5 hours drive from where I am. Like it's crazy that you could just go see this, right? This is absolutely gorgeous right here. I think
Indeed.
this is called Moraine Lake. It is iconic, this photo. I have multiple photos to show you of this, but Banff is a fantastic summer getaway for anybody, not just Canadians. For me, it's quick. I see it all the time, and yet it never loses its appeal. From someone from San Antonio, for example, would be absolutely blown away. You've never seen anything quite like Banff. Even if you spend time in like Colorado or like Kyle, for example, who lives in Idaho, you've never seen anything quite like Banff National Park. It's absolutely amazing. Like literally Canadians take it for granted because it is so close to us. And then you go back and you're just like, oh my God, like you're just in awe of how absolutely amazing it is. So Banff National Park was actually established in 1885. Let me just put my phone here, making it Canada's first national park. It is part of the Canadian Rocky Mountain Park's UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it covers about, let's put this in miles, 2,564 square miles or 6,641 square kilometers.
It's like
More than,
Texas.
yeah, right. More than 4 million visitors visit Banff National Park every single year. The town of Banff itself sits on about 1,383 meters or 4,537 feet above sea level. The whole reason that Banff even exists today is because 3 railway workers stumbled upon these hot springs on the side of the mountain in 1883. The Canadian government quickly realized that the area was special and protected the land, eventually creating Banff National Park. Without those hot springs, Banff might have actually just been another mountain valley, and that's it. So let me just show some pictures. Now, if you are a person here listening to me talk about Banff and you're like, oh, what does it look like? You're going to have to follow us on one of our live videos, whether you're watching us, on Facebook or Rumble or whatever. Maybe you check us out on our Fairfax,
That's what I
Virginia,
was about to say. You're
Washington,
Washington, D.C.,
D.C.
Fairfax. Check us out.
Yes. So you can see
Ooh.
here, this one is the same picture, but just with different sun. This is gorgeous. This is again, Moraine Lake. They also have these crazy bear crossings. Now, I only have a very short time because you and I like to talk. But because there are so many different animals and wildlife in Banff, they need to create something so that they stay safe. Thus, created this overpass. I'm just going to get out of the way here.
Oh, we have one of those in San Antonio.
Nice. Animal Crossing. Now, what kind of animals do you guys have?
Coyotes,
okay.
deer.
Okay.
Probably like rabbits and stuff, I guess.
Rabbits and stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we have one of those right down the street.
So this is literally going over top of the highway. For anybody who's just listening and not viewing, it's like a path basically for wildlife, because this is a big route to British Columbia, the next state or the province over. We get a lot of really big trucks on this area. A lot of wildlife gets killed, unfortunately. Now we also did stories, just speaking of bears, like this picture behind me. We did a story that one day, remember the Boss? That was that massive bear.
I remember the Boss very much.
The Boss
so.
is still kicking. There's actually been a few Boss sightings this spring.
Talking about.
So, they want to make sure that someone like the Boss is safe, right? We have also talked about, and I don't even think it was with you the one day, it was during our ghost story episodes here, but we talked about the different Fairmont Springs hotels. Oh, what do we got? We got pictures of the Boss. Yeah, there he is.
Dun, dun. Boy. There he is. He's got a scar because his boy.
Totally.
They got into a fight with the other guy whose name was like Scarface or something like that.
Totally. And the Boss won. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, of course.
This behind me, this is this one's the Lake Louise Fairmont, but there's also the Banff Springs Hotel. We have done different segments about the Fairmont hotels, because they are all said to be haunted. All of them have had some sort of creepy death that leads to, you can't go on the 13th floor, or like you can't go in room 227 or whatever. There's always a bellhop, somewhere that never actually existed or whatever. Like bride fell down the stairs, these concrete stairs. You can actually walk down the stairs. It's a little chilling, not gonna lie. But a lot of ghost stories in these places. So we've definitely talked about this a lot on the show as well. I also think that I do think it's real, though I don't believe in ghosts, but whatever. Well, that's for another time. We also have like real hot springs here. So we have a lot of man-made things here in Canada, but the real ones, they maintain water of approximately 37 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius. Let's do the math here. 80, about 110 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit is what this natural hot springs are.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just going super, super fast. There's a million things to talk about with Banff, but if you have any interest in seeing a absolutely breathtaking view, there's something like 1,000 miles of trails in Banff as well. So if that has any interest to you,
Banff
this is a
has it
great
going
place.
on. I
Yeah,
like
and
that
plus the
land bridge
town's
right
cool.
there. I'm gonna
Isn't that
definitely go
awesome?
take a picture of the one in San Antonio and send it to you because we got that same thing. I
Yeah.
thought we were the only place in the world that had that, but apparently we stole it from Banff because ours only been here for like 3 years. So
Hey, maybe you did. Someone came up and visited Alberta and they were like, you know what?
there
Our
you go.
coyotes need to not be dying all the time.
We steal all
If
the good ideas from the Canadians and then don't even tell anybody where we got them
don't even tell
from.
them. Just it's like this is an American innovation, like how you guys do with basketball and like insulin and stuff. So yeah, if you're looking to stay here in the
Insulin.
summer, you're looking between about $305, $600, $700, $800 a night to
Good
stay in
times.
Banff. Yeah, it's
Well
pretty
worth it.
pricey. July and August by far the most expensive months. You can go in the winter. There's a ton of skiing and snowboarding and hikes and all kinds of stuff. Maybe ice fishing. I don't know. I don't like the winter, so I don't know. I don't go out in these times. But yeah, that's it for Banff. So on just a very, very short version of what's happening with
I
Banff
love
here.
Banff.
I love Banff too. I love it. Okay, so Ron's changed the graphics. So obviously I've gone over my time. But I will say, if you want to check out Chuck anywhere, if you're like, hey, I want to learn more about Chuck and his weird family and everything else, follow him on YouTube at youtube.com/Chuck Allen 210.
San
And your
Antonio.
show, tell us about your show.
It's Keeping It Rio. And this
Good
week
for
I've got
you.
a rapper from Rhode Island on. So
Okay.
always
Did we tell
exciting
him?
things going on with Keeping It Rio. I've got like
Yes.
19 musicians lined up in a row now.
Whoa.
So I got to find other people that I could kind of mix it in with. So if you want to be a guest on that show, anybody that's watching, you're more than welcome.
Love that. You can check me out on my website, aboundinghealth.ca. I'm a holistic practitioner, so you can check me out there. I do have a podcast. I'm just taking a break, but I will be back at some point in the near future with that. Make sure you are back with us tomorrow. Now, who is on the show tomorrow? I want to say it's probably Mickey, yeah, and Lilac. Okay, this is
Oh,
fun. Lilac is saying basketball is American. There seems to be some
indeed.
debate because James Naismith or whatever his name, he's a Canadian guy, he invented it, but he did it in America. So like maybe
Exactly.
we
So
could
it's
share,
American,
maybe we
100%.
could share. I don't know, whatever. So be here tomorrow with Mickey and Lilac for that show. That's gonna be a good one. I don't know if they've ever done a show together before. That should be a great one. And then, of course, thank you to WDJY in Atlanta for airing us here. We love you. We love your support. We love your city.
We love
And
everything about it.
we love
We got to
everything
make sure
about
y'all
it.
know it's 99.1 on your FM dial.
99.1. I love how
And
you
we are
just
the
go full radio
dynamic
for it.
duo of ATL. And I do believe after last week, the Arbitron ratings have been sent in. We're already at number 1. So get on board now, fans.
Yeah, I love that for us. Also, thank you to Mace and Soul Specs. I can't. I hate it. I hate
Soulspectives,
alliteration.
ladies and gentlemen.
Soul
It's Soulspectives. Thank you
Spectives.
to Soulspectives.
Soulspectives. I can say it. I can say words. I can read. But thank you guys so much for your support on the show. And thank you for being here with Chuck and I. We are pretty excited that we get to be here every week with you. Now, sometimes, we're mixed with other people and that's totally fine, but we always seem to find our way back to each other, which I love.
I'm usually Monday. So if it's me with a different host, it's because Becky was like, I need a break from this dude. And then she comes back. So it's all good.
And then I come back. You know what? I do love doing shows with all of our hosts because it's great to like get to know everybody and there's a totally different dynamic. But I got to say, there is something very special about what you and I have going on together.
Dynamic duo. It's like Howard and Robin, only like much younger and
I don't know who that is.
much more entertaining.
Like Ben and Jerry, just without all our ice cream.
Ben and Jerry. I don't really want to be compared to that.
No. Okay.
We'll go Howard and Robin. That's cool.
I don't know who that is. Batman and Robin,
Oh,
though.
well, it's an amazing duo. So there we go.
Love
Game
it.
on.
Love it. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for being here. We will see you tomorrow with Mickey and Lilac. Have a wonderful day. Bye.